Hey everyone, and welcome to AMC Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm Crystal Kennedy, and this is the show where we bring you the day's biggest movie news, and of course, we're going to give you insight into what it all means. We're back in the studio today, and of course, joining me is our associate editor here at AMC, Miss Amy Rose Eisenbach.
Hello, darlings. Hello, Miss Crystal.
And we also have joining us in the studio today, the one, the only, Mr. Jon Schnepp.
What's going on? I'm here in America, guys. Campia! Where are you?
Schnepp, I'm so happy to see you. I've missed you. We have not been on for months.
I know. What's up? You're still too far away, Amy Rose. Look, Chrisley is keeping us apart.
It's going to be a good show.
All right, well, we're going to get things started. We all know we're going to be talking about who should be the next Batman until Warner Brothers finally makes the announcement for the Caped Crusader. But what about Superman's arch nemesis Lex Luthor? Reports hit that British actor Mark Strong is in consideration for the role. When asked directly about this prospect, Strong stated, "All I can say is, watch this space." A fairly cryptic message indeed. Amy Rose, would you be happy if Strong is Lex Luthor? And what other actors do you think should be considered?
Oh, yes. Mark Strong was actually on my list already. He is such an incredible actor. I mean, in Kick-Ass, in Sherlock Holmes, there are so many roles where he's just shown that he can be the mischievous little devil that we all love him for. He would be a fantastic Lex Luthor. Not only does he have that, kind of bad guy fun charm about him, he also is he's supremely talented. He really commits to every single role, and I love him. I'm a big, big fan. Definitely been thinking about this one a lot since Batman has been, such a hot topic, and Lex Luthor is such a wonderful character. Another name that's been tossed in the mix, which was also my list, is Bryan Cranston. Mm-hmm. Anyone who has seen Breaking Bad just knows Heisenberg, that's it. That's all we need to see. He is so incredible. His whole arc in the evolution of that show to really just become this character, there were true moments of fear. Like, he was just so incredible. He's such a talented, such a wonderful guy. We had the chance to interview him for Godzilla, and he's literally like, I got a little shy around him. He's just so wonderful and humble and wonderful, and I just love him so much. So he's another name I would love to see. Michael Fassbender. I think he would be a fantastic Lex Luthor. Really? There's actually a GQ cover with his head shaved with a devilish little eye. Magneto, everything, even Haywire, his action scene. I mean, everything I've seen him in, Shame, the emotional depth he brings to that. I mean, Lex Luthor is a very intelligent character, so that needs to be shown as well. And the last name I've been really thinking about, I'm sure there are countless others, but these are the ones that stand out to me, is Timothy Olyphant. Timothy is, again, he has been a badass in Justified and Deadwood, and also charming and suave in films like The Girl Next Door. That movie was fantastic. And I Am Number 4 and Rango and all these things where you can just feel it, even in his animated work. He's really talented. I think he could also pull off Lex really well.
And he was totally bald in Hitman.
Totally bald in Hitman. Even though that movie was not that great, he was bald and a badass.
Just add an S to it, and that's the title.
Boom. So yeah, those were
the front
names
of
I've
Hitman.
been
You guys get
flirting with. What about you, Schneppy?
Well, Mark Strong emanates evil, so I'm totally cool with that. I don't know how he's going to be Sinestro and Lex Luthor. Bam! I guess they're not doing Green Lantern 2 is probably if he's going to be Lex Luthor. That would be my guess. But he was great as Sinestro. He's great in Kick-Ass. He's just a great actor.
Yes.
Some other people, Bryan Cranston, I think he would be great as Lex Luthor. Yeah. I would hope that they don't cast him just because I'd rather see him do other roles.
Really?
Yeah.
He'd be so good.
He would be. I mean, if they cast him, I would still be super excited. Yeah. But I don't know. I think Bradley Cooper would be a cool Lex Luthor. It's like a weird choice, but he's a good actor. And it's like I'd rather see some of these. Like Michael Fassbender's a great choice too, I think. I was going to get jokey and say Billy Zane or Ed Asner.
Is it the bald thing?
Yeah. You just go through hey, Jason Statham could play Lex Luthor. Goodness. Or what about Bruce Willis? Bruce Willis and The Rock. I'll put all their three other heads together. We are Lex Luthor. Three heads. I don't know.
I know Schnepp's going to pick on me for this one, and I know there's one other person in this room that agrees with me, being Dennis. Rosenbaum. Love him from Smallville, Michael Rosenbaum. I still think
he's done it, so we know that he can.
Right.
He can, and I still think he's one of my favorites.
He's great.
So I'm still rooting for him.
These guys are sweating it out for Smallville, Dennis and Chrisley earlier.
Right.
They're getting all sweaty about Smallville, guys.
Actor Jim Carrey, who portrays Colonel Stars and Stripes in Jeff Wadlow's upcoming Kick-Ass 2, went on record a couple of months ago saying that he wouldn't promote the film because he could not support that level of violence included in it after the Sandy Hook shooting. Now, actress Chloe Grace Moretz, who plays Hit Girl in the film, has responded to the statement with some apparent frustration. Moretz stated the following: "It's a movie. If you're going to believe and be affected by an action film, you shouldn't go see Pocahontas because you're going to think you're a Disney princess. If you are that easily swayed, you might see The Silence of the Lambs and think you're a serial killer. It's a movie and it's fake, and I've known that since I was a kid. I don't want to run around trying to kill people and cuss in real life. If anything, these movies teach you what not to do." Schnepp, what do you think of Moretz's statement in this whole situation?
I think she's so awesome. Chloe Moretz, you're the coolest. It's like that's the best statement to cover up for Jim Carrey's weirdness and strange. Like, it's just weird for an actor to be like, "Oh, that's a character that I played in a movie, and I can't stand for this kind of, the character that I played and the message of the film that I'm in. I'm not going to support it," even though I've been in a ton of other movies like that are also equally as strange and or weird and or violent. Yeah, Chloe, you're awesome. I'm going to start wearing a purple wig because of you. But yeah, that's the smartest statement to cover up Jim Carrey's weirdness about it. It's like, go see Kick-Ass 2 because of Chloe Moretz. That's all I can say.
I love her. She's so fantastic. This, again, I'm just like, yes. She's young and she's so talented in everything she is. And Hit Girl, she was one of my favorite parts of the first movie. And it's like, we've talked about this before with Jim Carrey. And, we respect you supporting, what's going on in the world. And obviously we were all affected by all these tragedies. But again, this is entertainment. This is not trying to be a documentary telling us, how to become a serial killer, how to become an assassin, how to become a Disney princess. Like, it's just, I think it's a very eloquent way of kind of pinpointing the issue and kind of being like, come on, Carrey, lighten up. Like,
it's 2 hours of entertainment. It's cathartic release. It's like all these things. Like, it's just like how censors came down on comic books in the 50s, had all these people sweating video games. Like, still even now, it's like there's a couple of people who are nutballs who are going to go crazy. There are a couple of them out of the billions of people on our planet.
Yeah.
So,
and we had a movie that talked about that, and it was called Scream. And there's been so many other ones where it's like, and we understand you can be impacted by that, but real world events are just as terrifying, and people can learn from those too. So I think that it's, put money where your mouth is, support the victims, put your paycheck there. Absolutely. But I think Chloe was so eloquent, and it makes me love you even more, girl. Well played.
Because she didn't take anything away from the tragedy, but she made a really good point.
Exactly.
Yes, somebody has to be accountable for all these actions, but you can't point a finger at the video game made me do it or the movie made me do it. It's for entertainment, and what's right and wrong, and that's why there's age restrictions on all these things.
And this is rated R, and this is a sequel. So Jim Carrey already saw the first one.
He wanted to be in Kick-Ass 2.
Exactly. And his Colonel Stars and Stripes actually doesn't use weapons, which is the funny part. So, anywho, Chloe, you're our girl.
Yes. Earlier this year, Lionsgate released Now You See Me, the magician heist movie that starred Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Mark Ruffalo, Dave Franco, and Isla Fisher. The film is still opening up in some international markets and is expected to gross $275 million on a $75 million budget. It is now being reported that a sequel is in the works. Lionsgate CEO Jon Feldmeyer said the following: "This is a perfect example of how we're benefiting from the unique international infrastructure of output deals, joint ventures, and self-distribution we've set in place to maximize value and minimize risk." Amy Rose, what do you think of this news?
Talk about a shark in a suit statement. Like, yes, we understand that this is a monetary gain for you. Of course, you're not making these movies to impact people. This isn't an entertainment flick. But on the positive side, I loved the first movie.
Loved it.
I thought it was such a fun time. It was a, flashy heist, magicians. Like, I love that kind of stuff. I thought the cast had so much chemistry, and I was really great. It's funny, every time I hear Mark Ruffalo, I want to have it like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Mark the Hulk Ruffalo. That just happens. That happens to me. But I really liked the film. But with a statement talking about a sequel happening, I hope they would focus on, hey, we're so happy that that you guys felt the same way about this that we did. We can't wait to continue the story, to actually talk about the plot and their intentions for the film instead of just the dollar signs.
Robotic bean counter activated, the form of maximization of exploitation across the world globally, blah, 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 I'm a robot.
Schnepp, you live right here. Right here.
It's like, here, please put the heart chip in the robot before you send him out for the abagaga. You know, it's like, he might as well have like a spit meter coming out of the we made 400 million in Brazil, you know, or whatever. It's like
brutal.
So
exactly.
I'm not going to see that magic movie until a sequel. So sorry, guys.
You didn't see the first one?
No, I'm going to wait till it's part 2. Like, I saw Despicable Me 2, and I loved it.
So then you went back and watched the first one.
I'm not going to see the first one. So now that's just how I'm going to roll now.
It's a new movement. Sequels only, huh?
Yeah, like Elysium Part 2. That's the only way I'll see them.
You liked the first movie, right, Chris?
I loved this first movie, and I got to talk to the cast on a carpet, and they all talked about how much fun it was to make this movie and what a family environment it was. And so I feel like making a second one is going to be not only fun for them, but amazing for us to watch, and I'm a sucker for magic. So.
It still remains like one of my most favorite junkets I've ever done.
Really?
Because they flew us out to New Orleans, which is the best place ever, because it's already a playground, and you could just feel the love, like you're saying, of the cast. And they said, because Woody Harrelson has a house there in New Orleans, and they all went the night before, and they played games, and like the chemistry is real. You can't fake that on screen.
I'm going to see it when it comes out on video on demand, because I missed it. It just was one of those movies
we
that I
wanted
missed.
him over. Yes.
I'm seeing it, guys. Woody Harrelson is Lex Luthor. He's bald. Woody, Lex Luthor Harrelson.
Dear. All right, my friends, buy or sell time. Miss Chrisley is going to discuss some other fun things going on in the world of movie news. And Schneppy and I are going to simply say if we buy or sell it. What you got?
A new photo has been released of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on set filming Hercules. In the picture, Johnson is preparing to fight with another warrior. On this rendition of the character, Johnson stated, "No over-intellectualized actor speak," Johnson wrote on Twitter. "Straight gut talk, bring it on." Schnepp, buy or sell this new image and detail for Hercules.
Gut talk, guys, right? I think it's awesome. You know what? I'm really happy that they're not bringing in all the gods and stuff. Even though I think when I think of Hercules, I think of the gods and his like 10 things he had to do and all this. You know, he's wrapped in with all the mythos. You know, so it's sort of weird to be like, let's do Hercules just as a dude fighting. Yeah. But if anyone's going to do it, it's The Rock. Yeah. So, and just that picture reminded me of Conan. Yeah. The original John Milius Conan. Yes. So if they keep that kind of grit and grime and just like dudes like, I will take your land, you know, like fighting, I'm 100% in with no gods, no electrical powers. Nobody shows up out in a cloud outfit or Zeus with none of that. I'm in. So
I will also buy it. When he says straight gut talk, I'm just imagining a lot of like grunts and like, warrior, you fight now. Right. And yeah, The Rock, we talk about him a lot on the show. We love him. He's so charismatic. He's a decent actor, and for this role, it's going to be perfect. And I want the hard Hercules action. Yeah. Let's do this.
There should be at least one scene, like at the end, where they over-intellectualize him. He's like, it's The Rock on a mountain somewhere. Yeah. He's like, the reason I've decided to fight all of you.
I've been summoned.
Some super big, and now we fight. You know, one of those. Yes. I'm sure there is one of those.
A Braveheart moment?
Yeah, a Braveheart moment, guys.
Yes. Yeah. Let's do it.
We learned a few weeks ago that Paranormal Activity 5 was shifted from its October release date and moved to release sometime in 2014. Now it appears a Latino spin-off film titled Paranormal Activity: The Marked Ones will also be releasing next year on January 3rd, 2014. Amy Rose, buy or sell the 2 new Paranormal Activity movies?
Wah, wah. I'm gonna sell. I just, are they going to start releasing 5 a year next? Like, I just feel like you need to know when to exit. I know that a lot of people feel like this one has a little more substance than, say, Saw 25. But I feel like this is just happening. Start a new franchise. I'm all about diversifying it up, but like, I just feel like they're approaching. It's never a good sign when they push a movie back. That was slated to release this year, and then they're like, oh, let's actually push it to 2014. For a movie like this, like, come on, we're not expecting that much anyway. So I just think they're really beating the dead horse around here.
I have to agree. I'm going to sell it as well because didn't this come out every October? Wasn't this the Halloween movie? Yeah. And now what is it? Sinister is like they're like, well, I guess we tuck and roll and like scrimp off into February. Like, just pocket it there somewhere. Oh, Valentine's Day, Paranormal Activity, Dead Heart, or whatever they're going to subtitle it. It's a Valentine's movie about floaty kids. I don't know. I mean, it's got to sell it.
I think I'm going to sell it just because the Latin spinoff is still titled Paranormal Activity. Shouldn't it be in Spanish? I mean, maybe they're just being nice to me, but sorry. Director James Wan, who is helming the upcoming Fast and Furious 7, tweeted out a photo revealing that Tyrese Gibson is coming back for the picture with a teaser poster for the film behind them. The words "Tyrese and I piecing out at the production office" accompanied the picture. Schnepp, buy or sell this Fast and Furious 7 teaser?
I'm buying it. I don't want to sell it. I'm buying it because of James Wan.
Okay.
I love The Conjuring, and so I'm like a big fan of his now. Like, so I'm like, hey, anything he's doing next, I'm gonna check it out. So I'm buying it. Tyrese, where's Mayhem Part 8? That's the comics, son. Where are they? So
I am also buying it only because of James Wan. I thought the teaser, if that really is the teaser, give me a break. It's literally the same thing we've seen over and over and over. It's obviously not the real teaser. It's just being fun. And I mean, he's a great director. And I think that, you know, it really is, it takes a certain amount of art to give us the horror film we want, like The Conjuring. I finally saw it and it was great. And all his films, like, I just think for the most part, he really knows the element of suspense and surprise and how to really get you on the edge of your seat. And I feel like that can be said with action as well. If he does the long shots really well and all of that and just making us really believe in whatever plot they're going to give us, this, which is basically the same thing over and over. That's not why we see this movie.
No.
But I'm really excited to see his take. You know, Justin Lin did a really great job with especially the last 2 installments. I really liked. But yeah, I'm excited to see some fresh blood for the franchise.
It's Fast and the Furious 7, so it's cars blowing up, people fighting, and Michelle Rodriguez. So
yes.
Bye.
One-liners, fights, fun times.
Dudes jumping over freeways in slow motion while other cars spin past them.
That can really happen.
And the hero shot. We can't forget the hero shot of all the remaining survivors walking at the end.
Yeah.
The hero
shot ever. Superman himself, Henry Cavill, and the Lone Ranger star Armie Hammer are all set to play the leads in Guy Ritchie's 1960s spy adaptation, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. British actor Hugh Grant has also joined the cast in a supporting role as the head of the British Naval Intelligence. Amy Rose, buy or sell Grant joining the film?
Bye. I love Hugh Grant. I think he is so charming and funny and has this dry sense of perfect comedic timing, and I think he's going to be great. This movie is shaping up in a very interesting way. I mean, they had me at Guy Ritchie, so I'm a really big fan of his. Snatch still remains one of my favorites.
Right.
But, you know, Henry Cavill, I want to see more. I really loved him as Superman, and I want to see him, you know, he wasn't given a lot of chance to show off what he has in more of the acting department. So I'm really excited to see that. And Armie Hammer, I know The Lone Ranger was a flop, but I still think he's a good actor. He was, you know, a good actor in a not so great movie. But, you know, we've seen other work of his and he's a good actor. So Hugh Grant just seals the deal for me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to buy it too. Hugh Grant's a great actor. And I'm also kind of getting excited about this film too. I wasn't a big fan of the Sherlock Holmes movies that Guy Ritchie did, but I love his earlier films.
Yeah. Snatch, Lock, Stock.
Yeah, all of his earlier stuff. So I even kind of like Revolver, I got to say. Just for the weirdness factor. So yeah, I'm full buy for me. And Hugh Grant's a great actor, like I said. You get Superman and Batman because Armie Hammer was already Batman in the Justice League Mortal film. He tried on the suit. That makes him Batman.
That's right.
So he's like, I'm not going to play superheroes anymore. Well, you're going to play a super spy. So, you know, shut up and you're with Superman.
Yeah,
so.
Lone Ranger wasn't really.
Yeah, I was reading all that like back talk that him and Johnny Depp, because they're doing those junkets now, and they're sort of like, well, you know, kind of like it's like that, you know, like coming up with excuses. It was a flop. Just admit it. Stop trying to make it sound like it wasn't.
Let's not paint it.
Yeah, it's like, why even bother?
They're blaming the critics.
Right. I think the critics had a really big part in making this slow, uneven, strange film that was horribly and flawed from the beginning. They are the reason it sucked. That it didn't make money. Sorry. Not that it sucked. Yeah. It didn't make money.
There you go.
Well, this one's going to be good because it's Guy Ritchie. So.
There you go. But I have to agree on Sherlock. The first time I saw it, I was like, I wanted to love it because, like we mentioned, his earlier work.
Mark Strong plays the villain.
And he's the best part to me of that film. And then I watched it again with more managed expectations. And Robert Downey, I mean, he's so good in anything he does. I really love him. I did like it more, I watched. But the first time I saw it, I was a little disappointed too because Guy Ritchie has set the bar so high for me.
Well, yeah, and then the sequel as well to the show. I watched both of them. They both left me kind of
and I love Noomi Rapace too.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. It is mailbag time. We're taking your user submitted questions. Chrisley has a couple picked out. What you got?
I do. Gustavo Ruiz writes, "Show's awesome. Keep it up. Do you think that the Saving Mr. Banks movie could be made into a franchise where they show how Walt made his movies and how they came to be or just how deep he got into them? I think it would be BA. Plus, I'm a huge Walt fan. What are your thoughts?"
Thank you for the question. I am so excited for this movie. Tom Hanks is the perfect actor for this. I mean, he takes on so few roles that you know when he does, it's going to be fantastic. He's one of the best. He's an icon at this point. And all the pictures I've seen, Emma Thompson's also fantastic as Mary Poppins writer, and I just think that this definitely could be a franchise. Maybe not focusing on every title he tries to bring to life, but just his life. What an incredible man. I'm so surprised they have not really made, a feature film about this. They've, had some about his life and all of that, but like this with Tom Hanks and then that. See, I'm really excited about this. And we're actually going to D23, the big Disney Prezzo this weekend, and we're gonna get some goodies about Saving Mr. Banks. So if we're allowed to share it, we'll share it with you.
Yes.
What do you think, Schnepp?
I'm really excited to see this film. I had the chance. They were giving out free, they had a screener for it. And I was like, oh, that's that Banks movie, but I didn't go. So I was like, I'll see it when it comes out. I'm really excited about it. If they made a series, they could always kind of go super weird and have Walt Disney's cryogenically frozen head. Here is a tale from my past. Tales of Disney. Just go a little Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Crypt, but have Disney's floating head reactivated by a bunch of by Mickey Mouse maybe. And he's like, creator, tell us of the stories of your time. Maybe that's a bad idea, guys.
I have a story for you, son.
Yeah, he's like, I am the great and powerful Disney. Yeah.
Nobody sees Oz, though.
Right,
so. No. I can't wait for the movie. I don't know about a franchise, though, because I feel like he may not have gotten into it so much as he did with this, because this was something he wanted to work on for his daughters and took so many years. So do you think there's that many other projects
Chrisley,
that
I got to
took
tell
that
you, there
many
are
years?
a ton of projects.
Oh,
Walt Disney was a manic character in his own right.
It took him that long.
But he was just stories that I've heard from animators and working in the biz for so long. He has a lot of stories.
Oh,
believe me. And they're fun and exciting roller coaster style.
So tons.
Tons. And
all
look
right,
at that
I take it
empire
back.
he
Take
built.
it back.
Look at that empire.
Well, I love the Empire.
There's so
it's my
much.
favorite place in the world to go. I grew up on the movies. I just didn't know how entailed he got into every movie. But if you're saying it, I believe you, Schnepp.
I know he started the happiest place on earth, but it was not always a happy battle.
No.
That is correct.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
Drama.
Lots of drama.
Lowell R. writes, hello. Yesterday's episode was great as always. Great job, Amy Rose, Chrisley, and Dennis. Woo! However, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't talk about the new Muppets Most Wanted trailer. Can you please talk about it on today's episode? Keep up the good work and tell John Campea that he is in my thoughts and prayers. Thanks. We love you, Lowell.
We love you, Lowell. We
Lowell,
met
Lowell,
Lowell at our
Lowell.
AMC Movie Talk meet and greet at Comic-Con. Great to have your question here.
He's the guy with the red hair, isn't he?
Yes.
I thought so. Kind of remembered.
Yeah, we have a picture with him. He's
So
cool.
to the question, I actually wrote up an article about this a couple days ago. Sorry for disappointing you and not sharing on the show. There's just a lot of news to cover, and we just try to, have a diversified bit. I really liked the teaser. I mean, Tina Fey as a feisty Russian prison guard. Are you kidding me? It's so perfect. And then I love Ty Burrell. Love him in Modern Family. He's going to be great. Ricky Gervais, obviously, as the evil number 2. I mean, I think it's going to be great. And the thing about the Muppets that's so great is that it really does unite and cross generations. Yes. It's kind of like the Pixar comedy, where it still has a lot of very adult humor. The characters are wonderful. I thought the first one was great. And James Bobbin at the helm again is a really, really good step, because I thought the first one was really charming, or the last one. So what do you think, Schnepp?
I'm looking forward to it. I love the Muppets. I grew up with the Muppets. Jim Henson is one of my icons, so I'm all for it. I can't wait to see it. So
Great.
Muppets.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for us for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate the support. I would like to thank the lovely Chrisley.
Thanks for having me. You guys follow me on Twitter at Chrisley.
I would like to thank the one and only Jon Schnepp.
Hey, check me out on YouTube. Nerdist did a really cool thing for Geek Week. I'm up there with Grant Morrison, my friends Acker and Blacker and Gary Dugan. Check it out. Todd McFarlane talks about toys. I talk about the death of Superman Lives, some new fun excitement. So check it out. It's Geek Week. Check out the Nerdist News Geek Week special. So
Proud of our own Schnepp.
Fun.
Like to thank the man, the legend, Mr. Dennis. He kind of like our Oz, making it all happen, magic behind the scenes.
Dennis.
And thank you again for all your support. Like us, follow us, share us. You know the deal. I'm Amy Rose with AMC Movie News. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.